This is the Season Long Podcast in support of the YouTube channel Season Long Baller. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and let's get right on into it. Now, on these podcasts, we generally talk about things that we can't talk about during the games, some of the things that happen around the league that we're generally not covering because, we're focused on Jaymont, Summerz, of course, and the Washington Wizards. For example, we talk about the MVP race, we talk about standings, other things, like I said, that are kind of on the periphery of the actual games that we're playing with the Wizards. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel Season Long Baller, we are playing the full 82-game season of the Washington Wizards, mirroring the actual Wizards through our player build, Jaymont Summerz, 6'5" point guard out of William & Mary. And we did start the season back in October, opening night against the Indiana Pacers, and we will close the season at home against the Houston Rockets on April 9th. Now, taking a look at what happened last week, the Wizards went 3-1, defeating the Magic 69-58, then defeating the Nuggets 88-73, destroying the Spurs 63-38, and then losing to the Raptors 81-75. We'll talk about that Raptors game first because that is significant, and we'll talk about that right now. Raptors Wizards, the stats here, it's actually pretty even. The Wizards shot 49% from the field. The Raptors shot 45%. The Wizards were even better from three, shooting 48%, 11 out of 23. And the Raptors were 11 out of 27, so that was 41%. The offensive rebounds were 9-7 in favor of the Raptors. Bench points was the big difference, however. Raptors had 35 to the Wizards' 17, and the Raptors outscored the Wizards by 7 in the fourth quarter, 21-14, to get the 81-75 victory, a 6-point margin for the win. Now, the thing that is the most significant about this is the Raptors become the first team, and right now the only team that won the regular season series against the Wizards. Now, obviously there are some teams like the Nuggets that we played this week, a team that we only played twice, where the Nuggets and the Wizards split on each other's home floor. The Nuggets defeated the Wizards 88-80 back in December in Denver at the beginning of that 6-game road trip that we've referenced quite a bit. And now, this week, as you just saw, the Wizards defeated the Nuggets. We'll talk about that probably a little bit later. But again, the Nuggets fell to the Wizards in D.C. So that series is 1-1. And we've had series like that 1-1, or the Wizards have won the series. But in the case of the Raptors, the Wizards played the Raptors in early March, 2 games at home, and they split those 2 games. So this is the third and final meeting between the Wizards and the Raptors. Raptors win it 81-75 and take the season series 2-1 over the Wizards, and again become the first team to get a season series win over the Wizards this season. Taking a look at the game against the Spurs, it's pretty much significant because this is the second blowout at the hands of the Wizards for the Spurs. Jaymont Summerz went 7 out of 11 from the field for 17 points, had 5 assists, and was 1 out of 3 from deep. And it was a 63-38 victory. Now, that's not as bad as the 106-63 victory that the Wizards got in San Antonio, but again, a second blowout victory. And the biggest reason here, the Spurs shot just under 25% for the game. 15 out of 62 from the field, shooting only 24% from the field, and only 12%, 3 of 26 from deep. It is very difficult to win games that way. Now, granted, the Wizards weren't much better from 3-point distance themselves, going 3 out of 17, and that's 18%. But again, when you're only shooting 24% overall, the Wizards shot 48% overall, double what the Spurs did, then it's going to be very difficult to win, and it's going to be difficult for you to score points at all. The Spurs only scored 38, and that is 2 quarters in this game where they did not even score double digits. Scored 15 in the first, 4. That's right, only 4 in the second. Scored 8 in the third quarter, and then finished it up with 11 in the fourth. And again, the Wizards took that one 63-38. Now, finally, taking a look at the games this week, taking a look at the Wizards and the Nuggets. As I mentioned, the 2 teams split the series, each one winning on their own home floor. The Wizards were paced by Jaymont Summerz, 27 points, 10 out of 12 from the field, 3 out of 4 from deep, and won this game 88-73, a 15-point win. But again, the big difference, the Nuggets could only score 6 points in the fourth quarter. The Wizards scored 19, a 13-point difference in the fourth quarter, ends up being a 15-point win. And again, that is the biggest difference in this game. Now, the Wizards did shoot 56% from the field. The Nuggets only shot 42% from the field. Wizards were even over 50%, 11 out of 20 from distance. So again, that kind of makes up the big difference in this game. But again, that fourth quarter where you're only scoring in single digits, only scoring 6 points, the big difference. And the Wizards get the 88-73 victory. Now, taking a look at the award races as we're getting down to the end of the season. Right now in the MVP balloting, it is Luka Doncic still holding on to the most votes, or right now he is first, followed by Nikola Jokic, who is second. Joker is second in that. Jaymont Summerz and Porzingis of the Wizards are third and fourth, and Trae Young is fifth, and that is your MVP voting right now. Doncic with 17.2 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 5.4 assists, and that is pacing the league in points and in assists. Now, keep in mind, we do play 6-minute quarters, so a lot of your stats are compressed. The Rookie of the Year award has been a runaway for Jaymont Summerz, averaging 17.3 points a game and 4.9 assists per game. And that is highest among rookies in both of those categories by a pretty big margin. Right now, Chet Holmgren of the Thunder, one of those differences in our league, and of course, obviously in the real league, where Holmgren has been out for the entire season and hasn't played a game at all for the Thunder, getting hurt in the offseason after the draft last season. Holmgren has played for the Thunder all season, and right now he is second in the voting, followed by Jabari Smith Jr. of the Rockets, Keegan Murray of the Kings, and Jaden Ivey rounds out your top five from the Detroit Pistons. Your Defensive Player of the Year, Porzingis has been holding on. Kristaps Porzingis has been holding on to this one pretty much all season with his 2.3 blocks per game. He is in first right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo is second, and that is followed by Joker, Anthony Davis of the Lakers, and Mitchell Robinson. 3 centers from the Knicks round out the top 5 in that category. Now, taking a look at the playoff picture, right now we know the 8 teams that will be, 8 of the 10 teams, I should say, that will be in the playoffs for the Eastern Conference. The Wizards have already locked up the number 1 seed throughout the playoffs in the East, and they are followed by the Sixers, the Hawks, the Cavaliers, the Bulls, the Heat, the Celtics, and the Pacers are holding the 8th spot. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are in 9th, and that means that the Heat, the Celtics, the Pacers, and the Nets are already competing. Competing for the play-in position. So we're not quite done there yet, but they have qualified. So we'll keep a look there. The Western Conference is a lot different because everybody has not clinched all these positions yet. The Grizzlies are in first place. The Clippers are in second place, a half game behind the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are 49-25. The Clippers are 49-26. However, they've only clinched playoff berths. The Mavericks have clinched at least the play-in berth, and that's it. The Mavericks are 46-29, but that's it. The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Kings, the Blazers, and the Pelicans round out your top 9, and none of them have clinched anything yet. So the Western Conference is still a big scramble, and that will be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, your league leaders right now, I had mentioned a moment ago that Doncic was leading the league in scoring. He is second at this moment to Jaymont Summerz. So a correction there. Summerz is averaging 17.3 points a game, and Doncic right now is at 17.2 points a game. But Doncic has been leading most of the season in points per game. Rounding out your top 5, it's Trae Young at 16 even a game, John Morant at 15.8, and DeMar DeRozan from the Bulls is at 14.7. And actually, DeRozan and LaVine are 5 and 6, with DeRozan averaging 14.7 and LaVine averaging 14.5. Now, taking a look at your power rankings at this moment, the Wizards are first, the Grizzlies are second, followed by the Sixers, the Clippers, the Cavaliers, the Mavericks, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Heat. all of those teams in the power rankings have at least clinched a play-in berth. So now let's take a look at the Jaymont Summerz play of the week. All right, pass into Beal. He gives it over to Summerz. Summerz drives, comes right down the lane, and got back and flushed hard. Wow. Good dunk there by Summerz. Gordon looked like he was going to go up and try to challenge that, lead back to 13. All right, so taking a look at next week, and this will be interesting. The first game, March 28th, we are taking on, that's right, tomorrow, taking on the Boston Celtics at home. We've had some thrilling games with the Celtics over this course of the season, and as you know, Jason Tatum is back, and that has changed the entire fortunes of the Celtics, as I've mentioned a couple of times. The Celtics were out of the playoffs looking in when Tatum got hurt earlier in the season. And he got hurt so early that the Celtics kind of went into a free fall. And we're not even in 10th place in the Eastern Conference. Tatum has returned. The Celtics have rallied. They're one of the hottest teams in the East right now. And they are looking at, or actually have clinched, a play-in berth. So Tatum and Brown and the rest of the Celtics, they're all healthy now. Williams, III, who was in and out of the lineup, he is healthy as well. So the Celtics are now at full strength and could make some noise if they can get out of the play-in tournament. We face them on Tuesday. Then on Friday, we face the Orlando Magic at home. Season series right now in favor of the Wizards, 2-1. And by the way, the Celtics series is 2-1 in favor of the Wizards. And then finally, on Sunday, April 2nd, we will be taking on the New York Knicks in New York. And again, that's been an interesting series. Wizards lead that series 2-1 as well. And then just a sneak peek, we've got the Bucks and the Hawks the week after that. So we'll talk about that more in depth next week. Thank you for joining us. This is it for number 21 of the Season Long Podcast in support of the YouTube channel Season Long Baller. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please check us out on YouTube at Season Long Baller.